Welcome to Books in Sum, your go-to for bite-sized book summaries.
The Truth About Trust by David DeSteno. This book discusses the importance of trust in relationships. It explores the roots, reasons, and risks of trust, how other species reveal the evolutionary foundations of trust, and how monkeys get so upset when their trust is violated. It also explains why trusting yourself is just as big a gamble as trusting anybody else, and why the most common cues for identifying untrustworthy people are totally unreliable. Finally, it explains why trust is necessary to get resources and benefits we can't obtain on our own, and why we are hardwired to be drawn to selfish short-term individual rewards. The human mind and body have built-in systems that guide who we trust, such as the vagus nerve and hormones like oxytocin. This physiological base is the foundation of our primal instinct for detecting and rejecting unfair and untrustworthy behavior, which is so deeply rooted in our evolutionary past that we share it with our primate ancestors. This instinct has been demonstrated in experiments where participants had to make financial decisions in teams, where spraying oxytocin into participants' noses increased trust and cooperation among those on the same team, while increasing distrust toward other teams. Additionally, people will instantly refuse money offers that seem unfair, even if it means walking away with nothing, because they know they aren't being treated fairly and will sacrifice their own profit to make the point that the other person is acting in an unfair and thus untrustworthy manner. The most important details in this book are that children judge whether an adult is trustworthy or not from nearly the moment they're born. Experiments have shown that 6 to 10-month-old babies can differentiate between who can and can't be trusted, and that children decide whether to trust an adult based on their competence. Additionally, 3 to 5-year-olds were asked to watch 2 adults naming familiar objects out loud, and when asked to learn about other unfamiliar objects, they directed their questions 3 times more often to the competent adult. This shows that children make a strong impression of an adult's competence and place more trust in competent adults. This suggests that learning comes down to whether or not you can trust what you're told, and children's minds are already categorizing their teachers, adults, as trustworthy or not. Trust is an important part of romantic relationships, as it has been since the origins of humanity. A recent study examining the role of trust in romantic relationships found that individuals entering the discussion with more trust in their partners showed a much greater desire to collaborate and compromise to find a solution. High levels of trust also support your general well-being, as there are economic, social, physiological, and psychological benefits to being in a long-term relationship. However, people with high socioeconomic status are more likely to be selfish, as evidenced by an experiment conducted at a busy intersection where a researcher crossed at a crosswalk and observed which cars stopped as required. Wealthier individuals are more likely to disregard their trust in others if it's to their advantage, and that higher socioeconomic status is associated with a reduced willingness to trust others. This was observed when studying individuals of varying socioeconomic status playing the trust game, where participants are given some money to give to a trustee who will triple the amount of money in the pot. The researchers found that the higher the socioeconomic status of the subject, the lower their willingness to trust. Additionally, the author showed how little people can trust themselves by asking 100 people if they believed they would cheat in the following scenario. A hidden camera revealed that 90% of them cheated. This suggests that we overestimate how much we can trust our future selves and rationalize our own untrustworthiness. Trust signals are complicated and context-dependent, and isolated gestures and expressions will tell you nothing about whether a person is trustworthy or not. To interpret cues about trustworthiness correctly, context is key, and 2 facets of context are needed: configural and situational. Research has shown that basic facial expressions often prove useless in isolation for figuring out others' intention, and that accuracy in detecting emotional states and intentions, including trustworthiness, comes from looking for a collection of signs, not just one golden cue. Additionally, the same cue can signal different intentions depending on the specific situation, like who is showing it. Technology and online social interaction have opened up new ways to manipulate trust, both for better and for worse. In 2011, over 500 million people spent over 20 hours per week interacting with others as avatars, and this virtual world of avatars also seems to be governed by the same norms that apply to our daily real-world interactions. However, internet social interaction is different, as there is no direct body language to deduce intentions from. This can be used to hide information and con people, and to simulate trustworthy behavior in new forms of technology. For example, a virtual nurse called Louise helps people who struggle to follow the procedures prescribed in their after-hospital care plan. This illusion of trustworthiness actually made patients feel more at ease and more successful in following medical advice. Trust is fundamental to all relationships, and when we trust someone, we take a gamble that they'll prioritize the long-term relationship we've built. Trust is important as it allows people to work together towards greater rewards. Actionable advice includes accepting that you can't trust yourself to always do the right thing, using different techniques to communicate with your future self, and downloading one of the many apps designed to help control the actions of your untrustworthy future self. Make sure your mind and body are in the right state to be open to trust, and don't rush into a first meeting with someone. When the stakes are high, remember to calmly pay close attention.
We hope you found this summary helpful in your listening journey. If you're interested in diving deeper into the topic or getting your hands on the whole book, be sure to check the description below where we've included links to the book and other related products that may be useful to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest book summaries. And feel free to leave a comment with any suggestions or requests for books you'd like us to cover. Thanks again for tuning in and happy listening.